The summer sun beat down on the crowded plaza as people bustled between the shaded sidewalks and open-air cafes. Among the swirl of city noise, laughter, and chatter, a woman named Paige Cartwright was trying to film a segment for her Lifestyle Channel, a rising online series where she documented public interactions, fashion critiques, and social commentaries. She had just finished interviewing a street artist when her camera lens caught sight of a man sitting quietly on a bench near the edge of the park. He was old, weathered, dressed in faded camo pants and a dull green jacket that had clearly seen better days. His boots were scuffed, and his backpack looked like it had traveled far more than the average luggage. An American flag patch sat slightly torn on his left sleeve. His beard was gray and unkempt. There was a certain stillness to him that made him look invisible to the fast-paced world around him. Something about him rubbed Paige the wrong way. Maybe it was the solemn, unmoving way he sat. Maybe it was how other passers-by ignored him. Maybe it was that old green jacket, almost too deliberately worn, like a costume for sympathy. Her instincts kicked in not as a journalist, but as someone who prided herself on exposing frauds. She motioned for her cameramen to follow. "Let's go check this guy out," she whispered. "We might have another fake veteran trying to get attention." Approaching him with a polite but firm voice, Paige said, "Hi there, sir. I'm doing a piece on community stories. Are you a veteran by chance?" The man looked up slowly. His eyes were tired but kind. "I am," he said quietly. "Oh, really?" Paige tilted her head, her smile now a little condescending. "Mind if I ask what branch, army, and when did you serve? 72 to 95? Paige let out a low whistle. "That's a long stretch." "You don't look like someone who made a career out of the military." The man said nothing, but he didn't flinch. "You know," she continued, her voice getting sharper, "a lot of people out here wear uniforms and claim to be veterans just to get free coffee or pity or whatever. You'd be surprised how many of them are faking it." The man slowly reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a worn leather wallet. A small medal clinked to the ground as he did so, hitting the pavement between them. Paige instinctively bent down and picked it up. It was heavy, solid, polished. She turned it over and froze. "Distinguished Service Cross," she murmured, her voice suddenly shaky. Her cameraman lowered the lens. The man gently took it from her hand. "Second highest military honor you can get? Right behind the Medal of Honor. I earned that in '91. Desert Storm. Lost 17 good men that night." Paige's mouth opened slightly, but no words came out. He added, "I don't carry it to show off. I carry it to remember." The silence that followed was brutal. The noises of the plaza melted into the background. Paige looked around, suddenly feeling exposed and small. She stammered. I didn't mean to assume you did," he said. Not with anger, but with resignation. "Not the first, won't be the last." It wasn't just that she had made a mistake, it was who she had made it in front of, and how. She had accused a war hero of lying on camera. Now the weight of that moment sat in her gut like a brick. "I'm sorry," she said. He gave her a nod, then stood up slowly. "Hey, be careful with the truth. It's not always what it looks like." He walked away, his steps unhurried, disappearing into the mass of bodies and sunlight like he was never there. That encounter would haunt Paige for weeks. The clip never aired. Instead, she wrote a personal apology letter and spent days researching the medal he'd carried. What she found broke her. The names of the fallen men from his unit. The night mission gone wrong. The heroic actions that had earned him the medal. She took time off from her channel, rethought what she was doing with her voice, her platform, her camera. When she returned, her content changed drastically. She began a new series, The Stories We Ignore. It was quieter, more reverent. She sought out veterans, survivors, homeless men and women with real stories. She listened more, talked less. One day, while attending a military honor event as a volunteer documentarian, she saw him again. Same jacket, same quiet eyes. "Time." She didn't approach with a camera. She said gently, looked at her and nodded. "I never got your name. Call me Sam." "Sam," she said. "Just wanted to say thank you." He smiled faintly. "You changed something," he said. "Not many people do that." Paige blinked. the words catching her off guard. He added, "We all drop something heavy once in a while. What matters is what we do after." And just like that, Sam walked off again, his presence leaving more impact than many headlines ever could. Paige's career would never be the same, not because it was ruined, but because it was reborn. Not in mockery, not in vanity, but in truth. A single medal, dropped on a warm city sidewalk, had shattered her assumptions and rebuilt her purpose. Ask ChatGPT.